Governance, I mean, this is very complex and very multifaceted. I guess one thing I would say is like, governance is about how we make decisions, and we have very little kind of formalized or rigid governance systems in Ethereum today. We don't sort of do any kind of voting in any formal way. And so what happens when you don't have that is that you have these kind of de facto systems that kind of emerge, right? So there are actual human beings that are actually making decisions about where funding gets allocated and what sort of things we want in Ethereum and what Ethereum should be and who it's for and what those use cases should be. If we don't include as many voices as we can in that conversation, then I have a little bit of a fear that Ethereum will turn into something that benefits, again, our cross-section of this, the demographic we have today, which is not representative of the broader world. And so I think one of the roles of governance is to make sure that all those voices are heard and that we make room for those voices, not just today, but far into the future. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I love that, because I think in AI and ethics is also another big
Absolutely.
topic.
We have a lot to learn from that community.
Yeah, I think quite similar, because I'm quite interested in AI and also ethics as well. And I think they're going through very similar things, like what do you put into the algorithms to make you to make these personalizations more fair for everybody else. It's a lot of males who are developing and coding and putting it into these algorithms, but that's not not representing everybody.
One of my favorite examples of this, which is a really sad example, is that the machine learning, quote unquote AI systems that are being used to build like self-driving cars have trouble seeing dark-skinned people. There's real solid evidence of this, right? And that's it just goes to show that the systems we build are only as good as the data we put in, and the systems will reflect the biases that are already present in our existing society. And so I think this kind of techno-utopianism where we say we're going to build technology and it's going to save the world, it's promising, but we have to recognize that we still have a human element in there. These biases exist. There's a this conversation is happening in a very big way right now in the kind of broader AI space, right? So OpenAI is one example of an organization that's working on it. It's just now beginning in blockchains. I think that the most interesting question here is, what is the role of the autonomous systems and what is the role of the human beings, and how do we reconcile those two? So that's actually the core of my research right now.
Okay, fabulous. I'd love to learn about that. But yeah, I mean, I see it as any emerging new technology.
Absolutely.
This is one of the foundational things that you need to get right, because once you start continuing to build on top of it, and it's not fair for everybody, it's just continuously going to be much worse here onwards. So
yeah, I mean, I think that is, so we have to recognize always that technology can be used for good or bad. I've been thinking quite a bit about this recently, and it is quite a powerful thing to realize, right? Technology in and of itself doesn't solve problems. What technology does is it makes things happen faster, and things get bigger, things scale, right? And so whether we bend this to for good or for evil, so to speak, is up to us, right? And we have to put in place kind of systems and controls, and we have to make sure we're having conversations, and that all the people who need to be part of these conversations are part of these conversations, so that technology is we're going in the right direction with it. And I don't know that we know for sure yet which direction that's going to be. We're at a bit of a turning point right now.
Okay, some exciting bits coming up then.